So the story time takes place the last year I was in high school, okay? Now I don't talk about this a ton, but I left school to pursue YouTube full time, and then I tried to go back a few months into leaving, try to finish school, just so I could get my diploma, but I basically ended up not being able to for multiple reasons, this being one of them. So I went back to school when I had about 250k subs on YouTube, so I wasn't like making a full-time living off it yet, but I was doing well enough to where I could like pursue it, and I went back to school, and I didn't know how much of a problem this was gonna be, okay? Like when you leave school and nobody knows who you are and you kind of just, go on every day normally, and you come back and you have 250,000 followers, people are, what I like to say, absolute leeches, just clout chasers, okay? Not all of them, okay? Not everybody's like that, but a select few people at my school were, and I should have known it was going to be a huge problem when I went back. And yeah, that's what this is about, okay? So the first week of me being back at school, trying to finish school, there was this girl, okay? Now I'd never talked to her a day in my life. I had never even met her before. We only just kind of saw each other in the hallways, we shared a few classes together, but all I knew about her is she hung out with some people that I did not like. She hung out with this group of people that was just known for getting into shit and trouble and like messing with people. They just weren't my type of people, okay? So one day, in the first week I'm back at school, I walk into school, I go to my locker, I get ready for my day, I grab my folder and what I need out of my locker, and all of a sudden this girl walks up to me. This girl I've never talked to a day in my life. And she's like, hey, I don't mean to be a bother, but like, is this you? And she shows me a photo of myself on Google of Luna YouTuber. And I'm like, yes, that's me, how you doing? And she's like, wow, that's really cool, like, how long have you been doing that for? I'm like, not too long now, honestly, like, it just kind of started becoming, like, a really serious thing for me. And she was like, that's cool, so, like, do you make a lot of money off it? And I'm like, not a lot, but enough to, like, pay my bills and shit like that. I don't know why I said this, I was literally a kid at this point, I did not pay any bills other than helping my mom pay my own phone bill, but, like, that was it. And she was like, oh, that's dope, well, I just wanted to see if it was you, so, yeah, have a good one. And she turns around, she walks away. And I think to myself, at the same time, like, whatever. You just want to know if it was me or not. So she walks away, and little did I know, she was basically staking me out. She was, like, casing me for a future crime, alright? You're probably like, Austin, how do you know this? Well, just listen, alright? So fast forward all the way into the day, okay? Like, past lunchtime, it was the last 2 periods before school was out. I was in class, just doing my work, having a normal-ass day, looking forward to the bell ringing and me getting out of class. And sadly, Luna on this day drank a little bit too much Gatorade, so I had to go to the bathroom, okay? So I get up and I walk over to my teacher's desk, and I'm like, hey, can I go to the bathroom? And he's like, yeah, for sure, grab the pass from the front desk. And then as I go to grab it, he looks up at the clock and he sees that the bell's about to ring. He's like, actually, Austin, the bell's gonna ring any minute, like, just wait, okay? I'm like, alright, fine. So I put the pass back down, I go back to my desk, I sit down, and I wait. And it took a lot longer than I expected. The bell finally rings, I grab my stuff quickly, and I fast walk out of there. I was the first one out of the classroom, fast walk down the hallway, I get to the bathroom, and I go in there, and I was the only one in there. I go to the bathroom, and I go over to the sink, and I start washing my hands, and while I'm washing my this person just walked in, and I look over, and it's this girl, the girl that I talked to earlier. Same girl. But then I realized something again. I'm like, wait a minute, this is the boys' bathroom, why is she in here? So I ask her that. I'm like, hey, like, this is the guys' bathroom, are you supposed to be in here? And she was like, yeah, I'm supposed to be. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, I didn't think much of it. I thought, alright, maybe she has, like, written permission from the school to use the boys' bathroom or something, or, like, can't use the girls' because it's broken or something. I don't know. I didn't think much of it. But then all of a sudden, she walks up to me while I'm washing my hands, and she goes, turn the sink off. I'm like, why? And she goes, just do it. And she reaches over and just turns it off for me, and my hands are soaking wet, just dripping, so I grab a paper towel. She takes off her backpack and starts unzipping it, and she's just staring at me the whole time. And I'm actually getting scared. I'm like, yo, what is she about to pull out of her backpack? Like, what is she doing? And all of a sudden, she pulls out this thing that looks like an actual gun, and I looked at it for a second, and I realized that it was probably an airsoft gun. It looked plastic and fake, and just like really, really flimsy, but it didn't have an orange tip on it. So I'm not taking my chances, okay? Like, if that thing is real, I'm not gonna sit here and call her out. Like, I'm not trying to, lose my life right now at school. And I'm like, yo, just put that down. Like, I don't know what you want with me, but, like, put that down. Just please. And she was like, don't worry, I'm gonna put it down in a second after you give me what I want. I was like, okay, what do you want? She's like, all the money in your wallet, everything of value in your backpack. Now, go, hurry. So I open up my backpack and I start going through it to find my wallet and anything else that she might want. And this whole time I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, this random girl who I met for the first time today is actually robbing me right now. Like, I did not expect it to be a girl either. Like, that shocked me. So I go in my backpack, I grab my phone, I grab my wallet, I give her both things. I'm like, look, this is all I got that has any value in here. And she's like, let me see. And she starts going through my backpack herself. And then after she realizes I'm telling the truth, she puts her little airsoft or maybe real gun in the side of her pants and puts her shirt over it. But the thing was, she was wearing a super like short cut shirt, so you could still see it on the side of her. And she walks out with my stuff and she just goes out into the hallway. And I realize as she's walking out into the hallway, you can still see it on the side of her waist. Like, you can see it, the handle. And I'm like, yo, that's not good. So I immediately grab all my stuff put it in my backpack, I zip it up, and immediately I walk out of that bathroom and I start walking towards my next class because I just did not want to even think about what just happened. Like, I don't know. I wanted to tell someone about it, but at the same time, if I did, I was worried that I was going to get hurt. So I didn't think much of it and I walked out of the bathroom. But when I walked out, I realized something. I look over to my right and I see a security guard escorting her upstairs to the main office, holding her by the arm, and everyone's looking at her. And I'm like, yo, what the hell just happened? So I asked one of my friends, I'm like, yo, why is everyone looking at her? He's like, bro, she has a weapon on her. I'm like, what? How'd that security guard know? Asking an obvious question I already knew the answer to. And he's like, dude, she just had it tucked in her jeans. Like, you could see it like easy as day. Like, it was just right there. She didn't have her shirt covering it or anything. I'm like, shit. So after this, I go to my class, right? And I try not to think about what just happened. And while I'm in class, an announcement comes on over the overhead announcements. It goes, Austin to the main office? And I think to myself, like, okay, here we go. So I get up, I gather my things, I walk up to the main office, I sit down in the main office with my principal, and none other than the girl that just robbed me. And there's 2 police officers in the room, a security guard. They're all looking. Austin, do you know why you're here? I'm like, yeah, I'm assuming it's because either she admitted to the fact that she robbed me or you guys caught her somehow. And my principal goes, well, she was coming out of the boys' bathroom and our security guard noticed that. And also, he noticed that she had something on her hip that looked like a weapon. So he immediately escorted her up to the main office. And he saw you as the second person that came out of the boys' bathroom. And he wanted to know what you guys were doing in there. But based on what you just said, I'm assuming that she robbed you. And I was like, yeah, she did. I didn't even care at this point. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm a snitch on her. Like, she stole my shit. I don't care. She got caught. That's her fault. Like, I'm not about to get blamed for her bullshit. So yeah, she admits to it, takes out all the stuff that belonged to me, gave it back, and one of the police officers spoke up and was like, Austin, just so you know, it wasn't a real weapon. It was an airsoft gun. We confirmed it. And I was like, oh, that's good. And he's like, yeah, I just want to make sure you had peace of mind that you weren't going to be in any more danger. And I was like, thank you. So yeah, I got my stuff back. I didn't get in any trouble. It didn't give me any suspension or anything. I think I would have gotten suspended if I didn't admit what happened because they thought that me and her were in there like talking about something, but in reality, she was just robbing me. But anyway.
Story time about when I demanded my girlfriend show me where she buried our beans in the woods, causing her to break up with me. With everything that was going on, we stocked up on supplies, including some canned goods. I ordered a few weeks ago 30 cans of beans. 10 are black beans, 10 are kidney beans, and 10 are pink beans. Also, I ordered 15 cans of chickpeas. I thought this is a reasonable amount of beans and chickpeas to have every now and then that would last for quite some time. However, earlier this week I opened the cabinet because I wanted to make vegetarian chili using 2 cans of beans, but all the beans were gone. What the hell? I asked my girlfriend and she told me that she buried all of the beans in the woods. At first I thought she was joking, but she explained no, she had buried the beans in the woods. What the fuck? I asked her to explain and she told me that she was afraid that if things get bad, we might have to worry about looters or whatever and that the beans would be in danger of being stolen. I said I thought this was completely ridiculous and unlikely. She became angry at me and said that she's protecting our beans. According to her logic, the beans are safely buried in the woods behind our apartment complex, and if we ever need some beans, she will go to the stash and dig up a can or 2, but would prefer if we save them all for if things get worse. I said, why only bury the beans? Why not bury our more valuable items? She said that canned food was the most valuable in long-term means, and that since we get fresh food in our online grocery deliveries, it would make sense to continue to stockpile beans. She intends to go bury more beans in the woods every week. This was too insane for me and I got very upset. I demanded to know where the beans were buried, and she refused to tell me. She said if I knew, she was afraid I'd dig them up. I said, damn right I would. She said, I will never jeopardize the beans. The following day, I tried to put my foot down, and I'm not usually a foot downer, but there are rare issues where compromise is out of the question, and I foolishly decided that this was one of those issues. I demanded to know where the beans were buried, and I told her that if she was going to bury beans that I paid for in the woods, that I would move out. We fought about it, and I kept insisting. In hindsight, I should have just let it go and created my own hidden stash of beans in the apartment and given her time to maybe cool down about this bean burying scenario, but I blew it all out of proportion. Yeah, it's weird to bury beans in the woods, but why did I have to press it? What's the harm at the end of the day? In the grand scheme of things? But I kept demanding her to take me to the beans or at least draw a map or something, and finally she broke up with me over beans. I've lost the love of my life because I couldn't let the damn beans go. I am in disbelief. She moved out. Not only am I heartbroken, but now I'm paying full rent instead of 50%, which is a huge financial issue. Am I the asshole for not letting my daughter choose the theme for her birthday party? I, 29, am the mother of my daughter Kira. She just turned 6 this past weekend and we had a party with her extended family and friends. Unfortunately, the party was less than her expectations and she hasn't shut up about it, and I'm afraid I might have done something wrong. A few weeks ago, before buying themed invitations and decorations, I asked my daughter what she wanted the party's theme to be so that I could buy the themed invitations and decorations. She said she wanted an Isabella themed party, the name of the minor character in the recent Disney DVD Encanto. I tried to dissuade her from this idea for 2 reasons. Reason 1, which I told her, is that there probably wouldn't be many decorations to buy centered around that character. Reason 2, which I did not tell her, is that I would have intense secondhand embarrassment and surely feel judged by my family who definitely wouldn't be familiar with such an obscure and uncomfortably recent Disney installment. I decided on a compromise, that we'd have a Disney princess themed party with all the princesses rather than just one. Much to my daughter's dismay though, when the decorations arrived, we determined that none of them featured Isabella. She also wanted me to have her at least dress up as Isabella, but Reason 2. Ultimately, Kira was completely unhappy with her Disney party and the guests weren't much happier. Kira's school friend's mom confronted me after asking my daughter why she had been crying the whole time and in short gave me hell for my party planning decisions. My mother, Kira's biological grandmother, offered to throw a party at her own house the next day and she'd buy every Isabella thing she could find at the store on one condition, that she bring my daughter and I don't show up at all. But I declined and kind of faked a seizure to avoid any further attacks because I was just completely exhausted. Everyone left while my daughter's face was covered in cake and tears, but mostly anger. I was just trying to do what was best for both my daughter and myself, but everyone ended up disappointed in me.